Hi, my name's Laura Grierson. I work for the Citizens Advice Bureau in Dumfries, and I'm an energy advisor over the next 6 months for the winter period.
Can you explain how Digas can help anyone who is struggling with their energy bills at this time? Can you run through the process that you would complete with any client who contacts you and your team?
Okay, so if somebody comes to me with an energy inquiry about the cost of energy, what I would first of all do is look at what is their consumption in relation to the size and the design of the house and the number of people that are in the household. And dependent on the outcome of that, we can determine whether their consumption is exceptionally high or sort of average to the national averages or low. And then after that period of time, assessing that information, what we would then do is start to look at, well, dependent on the outcome of that, is there certain areas where they could get energy efficiencies? Do they own their home? Do they rent their home? Are they eligible maybe for a grant to get a heating upgrade? Are they on the base tariff for the supply of energy? Could we look at price comparisons for them? Or are they getting all the benefits that they're entitled to, including things like warm home discount or the winter fuel payment? So these are the main things that we would look at.
Yep. Can you give us help to switch providers?
We do assist with switching providers. We use our own website, which is totally unbiased to all the other websites that are currently on the market. And we would look at what type of supply they have, whether it's gas and electricity. Are they with the same supplier for both? How do they pay for their energy? Are they on prepayment meter? Are they on standing order? Do they pay quarterly cash? Do they pay by direct debit? And then we would look at, well, how would they like to pay for their energy in the future? And then from there, we would search the market for them. We would come up with all the different tariffs. Predominantly, they are listed in what's going to be the biggest savings for them, but you can start to narrow that down. Some people don't want to go with some of the smaller suppliers who quite often are cheaper. Some people prefer one of the bigger suppliers. Some people are in receipt of warm home discount, and not every supplier participates in warm home discount. So we start to look at each individual's personal needs and advise them on what might be the best deal for them at any given time.
I'm already behind in my payments to my energy company. Can you help by talking to them on my behalf to stop my power being cut off?
We certainly negotiate and liaise with energy suppliers, providing we have a mandate to do so. Now, historically, it would always be a written mandate, but suppliers are now taking verbal consent over the phone. And then we can, once again, you would go through the steps to make sure that the debt is a real debt. It's not something that's come about by continuous estimated reads. We would get up-to-date reads, make sure that the billing is correct, and then negotiate with the supplier to an affordable repayment plan. We would look at their finances and find out, well, how much can they afford to repay? Would they be eligible for a grant? Because there's lots of charitable grants out there to help repay energy debt. And if they're not eligible for a grant or not eligible for a 100% grant, then we would be able to negotiate an affordable repayment plan.
Can you help me find a lower cost energy provider to increase my income and reduce my costs?
We can look at the cost of your energy supply, but we can also look at your consumption and advise you on energy efficiency in the home. So what we would do in that respect is discuss with the client each room in the house and what appliances that are used and the frequency of them and the way that the appliances are used. Because for some people, there's a bit around education, of educating them how to use heating systems that they're not necessarily aware of. I can give you an example. We had one lady who had a very, very high electricity bill, but she had oil central heating, and she couldn't work out why the electricity bill was so high. And after doing a room-to-room review, we discovered that she had her electric immersion heater on 24/7, which she didn't need to do because she had oil central heating, which was also heating her water. So there's lots of different scenarios, and I can give you various case studies that demonstrate, and it might be more interesting to people to learn some of the scenarios.
Where and how can our residents reach you and your team?
We're based at the Citizens Advice Bureau, which we have in Dumfries, Stranraer and Castle Douglas and Annan. The Bureau in Castle Douglas is an outreach bureau and is only open at certain times. They can phone us on 0300 303 4321, or they can email us at info@dadcas.org.